Órale, Cholo Trucker Wrestling Rehab. Shouts to all the junkies out there. All right, man. So, Bill Goldberg, he's come out on an interview talking about how he's not pleased with his final match on Saturday night's main event. But apparently, he's got, I don't know, somewhat of a gag order to a certain degree. I guess he's not really able to express exactly how he feels. He's got to keep it down on a lower level, keep himself, in control. But I guess we're going to find out pretty soon how he really feels about it. Look, I've heard different things about, how it ended, right? How they cut off his speech. I thought it was myself. I was just like, oh, damn, they cut off his speech. I didn't really think too much about it, though. I'm like, all right, I'll be able to find it, online somewhere else. And yeah, sure enough, I was able to do that. But nobody was able to watch it live at that time. And, people have started making the comparison of like, hey, well, wait a second. Word is that John Cena's final match is going to be at Saturday night's main event. Oh, man, they're going to do that with John Cena and stuff. I'm telling everybody right now, no, they are not. No, they will not do that with John Cena if his match is his final match is at a Saturday night's main event, right? Why won't they do that with John Cena? Because it's John Cena. That's why. That's why that's not going to happen. Because it's John Cena. I understand there's people that believe that Goldberg, and probably Goldberg believes that he's as huge and big of a star as John Cena. No, he's not. No, he's not. First of all, his run in the WWE is not a good one. All right, he made his bones back in WCW. But his time in the WWE, yeah, everybody knew who he was because of who he was in WCW. But his run in WWE, it's not good, man. It's not Hall of Fame worthy. What made him a Hall of Famer is because of what he did in wrestling back in WCW. But just the WWE career alone, he is super one-dimensional. He's good at it. He's good at what he did, right? Just squashing dudes. He's good at what he did. But he's so super one-dimensional. All right? Now, saying things like, oh, would they do that at John Cena? Would they do that at Undertaker? Goldberg is not on the level of The Undertaker. And he's not on the level of John Cena. In the WWE, for damn sure he's not. And just in wrestling in general, yeah, he may have been somewhat of a big star, but he wasn't on the level of those two guys. Some people may disagree. Some people are going to say, no, man, he was a much bigger star, better star, whatever it may be. But in reality, in the grand scheme of everything, no, he was not. Yes, he was a big star. But this is a guy who has had problems with the WWE. This is a guy who has, demanded to have things go his way. I thought they'd give him a good run. I did, man. They even put the strap on him. The match he had with Brock Lesnar, I thought that was one of his better matches, actually. Not the one way back in the day, but that one was terrible when they were both on their way out. But I never thought he was that good of a wrestler. He's a good character. Yeah, sure. But I thought the WWE did a lot for this guy, man. Kept bringing him back, giving him a nice big payday. He wants his son to see him wrestle again. Or again, he wants his son to see him wrestle. So they bring him back. And put the window up. It's getting a little windy. But it's like this match that he had with Gunther at Saturday night's main event. Honestly, man, it's probably one of the best matches that I've seen when it comes to Bill Goldberg. I was really impressed. I wasn't expecting much. I was expecting a lot of botches. I was expecting it to be slow. I was expecting it to... I was impressed. I've said it. There's two ways to look at this. A good way and a bad way. A good way of like, hey, you know what? That's your farewell right there. Good match. Go out on top. Another way to look at it is like now Bill is going to say like, hey, you know what? I still got it. Let me actually go ahead and have some more matches because I actually did good. It's like, no, man, you did good. Go out like that. But apparently he's not happy with it. And look, I can understand. I've said it already a few times, man. I don't really care for Bill Goldberg. He seems very entitled. You know, he seems very entitled. Like, hey, you're lucky to have me here. But in reality, man, hey, homie, we could just keep on moving without a Bill Goldberg. Like I said, I'm sure some people really, really love the guy. Thinking that he is bigger than The Undertaker, bigger than John Cena, bigger than, Stone Cold ever was. But in reality, he's not. But he always seemed entitled. Every time they give him the mic and he talked to the fans like, hey, be quiet, man. I'm trying to talk here. Or, I'm not saying that verbatim, but that's the kind of attitude he had. Like, hey, if you guys just let me talk, I'm trying to spill my heart here or something. It was just like, I never really cared for Bill Goldberg. He had a good match, probably one of his best matches ever for his final match, if that really is his final match, against Gunther. From what I understand, I don't know, I didn't go back to look this up, but apparently that was the longest match he's had in like over 20 years. But the speech was cut short. Yeah, look, I get it. It wasn't a PLE. You could go back and watch it if you care about it that much. But is something like that going to happen to somebody like a John Cena if John Cena's last match really is at a Saturday night's main event, which reports out there saying that that's what's going to happen? No, it's not going to happen to John Cena. Why? Because he's John Cena. That's why. Because he's John Cena. He means a heck of a lot more to the company than Bill Goldberg ever did. So, Bill, again, he's unhappy with it. And I kind of saw this coming. And we're going to find out more because he's going to really spill his guts out on how he really feels about it. And like I said, the dude always seems super duper entitled. He always, to me, he always came off like, thank me for being here because, you guys need me. And it's, in reality, I think, in all honesty, I think Brock Lesnar is a bigger attraction than Bill Goldberg was. Or is. I'm not trying to bring down or diminish Bill Goldberg. Yeah, Bill Goldberg is a name. Bill Goldberg, for sure he moves the needle. Yes. I'm not trying to say that, hey, man, he's on the level of some jobber that nobody cares about. No. Of course not. Of course not. First of all, in wrestling, yeah, he became pretty big in WCW. WWE, not so much, but that kind of carried over. And yeah, sure, you know what, man? I mean, he's a star. He's a superstar, yes. But no, he's not on the level of the John Cena or the Undertaker, which those two names were the ones that were brought up. Hey, would they do that Undertaker? Would they do that John Cena? Of course they won't. But you're not them. Anyway, man, I never really liked Goldberg that much. Like I said, it was cool. He was good at what he did. Super one-dimensional kind of guy. He was good at it, but to me personally, I don't know, man. It got kind of stale. It got kind of dull pretty fast. I'm just being real with it. For me, it was cool. It was fun to see. Like, damn, look at this big, bald dude just squashing dudes, man. Like, damn, this dude's badass, man. For me, the excitement didn't last too much. It's like, all right, dog, now, like, what, man? I just, and his run in WWE, honestly, to me, made it even worse. But this match that he had, I was really impressed because I wasn't expecting that. But he is the one now talking smack about his last match when really, I would say, you know what? Talk it up. Talk it up and say, man, you know what? It was great. Thank you for the opportunity. I had a really good match. Instead, over there, he's bad-mouthing the match. And it's really probably one of the best matches I've ever seen when it comes to Bill Goldberg. Like I said, I never really cared for him. I never really liked him that much. Yeah, he was a superstar, but he wasn't on the level of a Taker or a Cena. But anyway, we'll see what he comes out and says. I don't know, like in a week or so. Apparently, he's going to come on. It's going to be a pipe bomb. So, let's see what he has to say there, man. But what's your guys' thoughts on Bill Goldberg? His final match, his retirement match. It's already been a minute or two. It's not like it just happened. But, he's starting to come out and, talking about how displeased he is with everything. And it's like, man, this dude can never be grateful, man. You guys let me know. Maybe I'm tripping, Holmes. Cholo Trucker Wrestling Rehab. Shout out to all the junkies. Catch you guys on next one.